Okay, we'll load up some of these copper jacketed, okay, some of the XTPs. So we go to our guide, we go to the 44 Remington Magnum, okay, and we have a 200 grain bullet. Okay, we have a 200 grain XTP, and we're gonna use AR 205. Sorry, AR 2205, which is here. AR 2205. And we can use 24 to 25 grains. So I'm gonna cut it right in the middle and go 24.5. Because I'm only loading 4 rounds just for this demonstration, I'm not going to use my powder dropper. Okay, I've got a Reading powder dispenser which measures and drops the powder. I use that when I'm loading, like 100 bullets, for example, 100 rounds. What I'm gonna do this time around, I will still measure my powder. For that, I've got electronic scales, so I'll get that out, I'll set that up, and then I'll come back to you. And then what I'll do, instead of using the powder dispenser, I'm just gonna use a little scoop. We've got our cases ready to be powder charged, and we'll be ready to sit our bullets as well. I'm gonna use my scales. I'm gonna use a scoop, and then I'm gonna use a trickler just to get the right amount of powder. So I'm gonna add powder to my trickler. Okay, my scales are zeroed, so as we trickle powder, as we twist this, powder will start coming out. It's very important to make sure you get the right amount of powder. Alright, some of it's starting to trickle in yet. Okay, so I'm gonna scoop some powder into the little Duvilaki, and that'll give us the initial reading. Okay, so we need, so that was way too much. We need 24.5, and I've just put in 27.6, so it doesn't take much. Okay, that's 26. $24.6. Okay, I've got 23 grains of powder. Okay, I think you can see the reading. Okay, so now I can trickle my powder in, and it just drops tiny little amounts of powder. It's going up, 23.1, 23.2, 23.4, 23.7, 24, 24.1, 24.2. Remember, we need 24.5. .5 grains of powder. AR 2205. So now what we do, we grab our funnel, place it over our empty shell. And drop it in. Making sure every single grain of powder goes in there. Okay, why is that important? Because then we get the exact right amount of powder into our cartridge. We'll do it again. $17, $19, $19, $21, $22, $23.3, $23.8. I'll leave it there and I'll start trickling. $24, $24.2, $24.4, 24.5 grains. Grab our funnel. Being careful to make sure all the powder goes in the right spot. And making sure our scale is 0 as well when we start. 2 to go. $15, $17, $20, $21.2, $22.6, $24.3. Now we trickle. 24.4, 24.5 grains of powder, right on the money. We move on to the next shell. $21, $22.9, $24. Close it up. 24.1 reading at the moment. $24.3. $24.4, 24.5 grains of powder. Go on to the next shell. Next case, sorry. Okay. This scale is so sensitive that even if you breathe on it, it will make it'll register. It is very, very sensitive. That's why you need to make sure you don't do it on a windy day, because otherwise it'll just fluctuate everywhere. Okay. Now let me put this aside here. These are ready for bullet placing and bullet sitting. So in the meantime, I just want to get rid of this gunpowder, put it back in the box, back in the bucket. I don't mean to sound like a Scrooge, but you don't want to waste your powder. It's not cheap. Depending on what type of powder it is, what number, it can be pretty expensive. I'm gonna try Trail Boss next. I think Trail Boss will be good for those lead bullets. I gotta do a bit of research first though. Okay, we're done with the scale. Now I'll give you a close-up of the cartridges as they stand in the loading block. Okay. Okay, you can clearly see the gunpowder in there. Now we're ready to sit our bullets, which is what we're going to be doing next. We're basically ready for bullet sitting. We move on to our bullet sitting die. Again, being very careful. We grab our charge case from the loading block and straight into the press. Okay, now obviously we grab a bullet. We grab our charge case from the loading block, put it into the shell holder, grab our projectile from the box, place it into the expanded mouth of the case, and then the press will do the rest. Goes in. And I've already got that dialed in to crimp the bullet in place. We've got an overall length of 40.03 millimeters. 40.03. Okay. Again, charge case into the shell holder. We place our bullet on there, and the die does the rest. And there you have a charged charge case. Okay, and there you have it, guys. That's how easy reloading is. It's not that hard, it's not that difficult. I'll test fire these bullets, see how accurate they are next time I go shooting. And what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of paper in here. Usually use the same paper from the primers. I'll just write. I'll write the combination. So I've got 24.5 grains AR2205, 200 grain XTP. Okay. The date, I don't know, 7th of the 3rd, 15. And the primers, you can tell which one it is, but normally it's Win WLP Winchester large pistol. Stick that in there, so then I know what recipe it is. If I change the gunpowder, sorry, if I change the amount of gunpowder between 24 and 25, say next time I load another 4 bullets with 24.7 and another 4 bullets with 24.9, I need maybe a batch of 25 grains of gunpowder. Then I test fire them and see which ones are the most accurate, and obviously that would be the combination that I would load a quantity of, because I know that it would be accurate on my rifle. Okay, I've got some Winchester Super X, some hollow point soft points for hunting. These are factory bullets. Just gonna check the measurements here. This is what they look like. So, copper jacket, but exposed soft lead nose with a little cavity at the front, which will promote expansion inside the target animal. So it's a hunting round designed to cause maximum damage now. These ones are measuring 40.44 millimeters. I've shot these ones before out of my gun, out of my rifle, and they've performed flawlessly, so I got no issues. 40.45. These are the ones I loaded today. The ones that I've shown on the video where I'm loading them. These ones come in at 40.13.
What's up, world? Let's get it poppin' with CC Mixer. It's your boy Jeff Williams. Word. What's up? up, young world? It's Jeff Williams.
And Jay Lang.
You're listening to CC Mixter.
Where it's always in the
Alright guys, I know as I said to you before, this is the way I do it. It may not be perfect. Some people might say, oh, but he didn't do this, and oh, but he didn't do that. It doesn't matter. This is the way I do it, this is the way it works for me. And that's all that I worry about. I don't care what anyone else says. I go by the book. So this is the snap cap. Look at the size of the snap cap. It's 39.1. Mine ended up at 40. 40.03. So very, very little difference. It's almost identical, it's just a minute difference. Alright, cheers guys, and we might do some more 223 sometime later on in the future, okay? Cheers and happy reloading. Shit.